It is 23 hours 30, Universal Time. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. British Home Secretary John Reid says police are sure they have the main suspects in a plot to explode several airplanes. But American and British news reports say 5 suspects are still missing. On Thursday, British officials stopped a plot to explode several airplanes flying between Britain and the United States. Intelligence officials say terrorists plan to carry liquid explosives onto as many as 10 American airplanes. The terrorists plan to explode the planes as they travel to major American cities, including Washington, New York, and Los Angeles. British police arrested 24 people in London, Birmingham, and southeastern England. Agents had been investigating the case for 8 months. Reports say the suspects are all British citizens. Pakistan says it has arrested several suspects in the terror plot to explode passenger airplanes flying from Britain to the United States. A Pakistani Foreign Ministry official made the announcement in Islamabad. She said the arrests in both countries came after close cooperation between Britain, Pakistan, and the United States. The Pakistani Junior Information Minister said the arrests show that Pakistan is involved in the global fight against terror. President Bush says the terror plot shows that the United States is at war with Islamic extremists. Earlier, the United States raised its national security threat level for passenger flights from Britain. Officials said they are especially concerned about flights by United Airlines, American Airlines, and Continental. People traveling to and from the United States cannot bring drinks or liquids onto the planes. The ban does not include baby foods. Airplane passengers between Britain and the United States are experiencing extreme travel delays because of the new security measures. Israeli troops and Hezbollah guerrillas fought fierce battles in Lebanon Thursday. Reports say Israeli forces seized the mainly Christian town of Marjayoun. Israel says one of its soldiers was killed. Lebanese officials say Israeli troops are holding 350 Lebanese soldiers in Marjayoun. Also Thursday, Israeli airstrikes hit a historic lighthouse in Beirut and a radio structure north of the city. Hezbollah fired more than 100 rockets into northern Israel. The attacks killed 2 people in an Arab-Israeli village. Israel says it will delay an expanded offensive in Lebanon to give diplomats more time to organize an international peacekeeping force. Britain and the United States say all sides could agree as early as Friday on a resolution to end the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. British Foreign Secretary Margaret Beckett is traveling to United Nations headquarters in New York for talks on the resolution. The United States ambassador to the UN, John Bolton, says American and French officials have fewer disagreements on the proposed resolution. Arab diplomats want Israeli soldiers to withdraw from Lebanon when a ceasefire is announced. Lebanon has offered to deploy 15,000 troops along the border with Israel. They would work with a stronger UN observer force to guard the area. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Iraqi officials say a bomber killed at least 35 people in an attack near a Shiite Muslim holy place in the southern city of Najaf. More than 120 other people were wounded. Police say the attacker set off the bomb after being stopped at a security position near the Imam Ali Shrine. The office of Iraq's top Shiite clergyman, Grand Ayatollah Ali al-Sistani, is near the shrine. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki blamed the attack on Sunni extremists and supporters of ousted Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein. A Sunni resistance group reportedly claimed responsibility for the bombing. Also Thursday, a bomb explosion killed 6 people in Baghdad. The United States has strongly condemned violence in the Darfur area of Sudan. The violence has continued even though the Sudanese government signed a peace agreement with the main rebel group in Darfur. A spokesman for the American State Department asked all groups in the western Sudan area to honor the agreement signed in May. The official also called for the protection of aid workers and civilians. An American State Department document released Thursday called on Sudan's government to permit the United Nations to deploy a peacekeeping force in Darfur. Ethiopian officials say at least 254 people have been killed in flooding in the Dire Dawa area. Rescue workers are still recovering bodies 6 days after the Dechatu River flooded. Officials found the bodies of 3 adults and a child on Thursday. Many people, including children, drowned in their homes as they slept. About 300 people are missing. This is the worst flooding incident ever recorded in Ethiopia. The Chinese trade surplus was the highest ever in July. China's customs agency says the surplus was more than $14,000 million. This is an increase of more than 40% over last July. China's rising trade surpluses are seen as a problem by the nations it trades with the most. The United States, the European Union, and Japan have called on China to raise the value of its money, the yuan. They say this will restrict Chinese exports because they will cost more. Chinese officials say raising the value of the yuan is not the only way to reduce the trade surplus. Briefly, here again is the major news of the hour. The British Home Secretary says police have all the main suspects in a failed plot to destroy passenger airplanes, but news reports say 5 suspects are still missing. Israeli troops and Hezbollah guerrillas continue fierce battles in Lebanon. And in the southern Iraqi city of Najaf, a bomber has killed at least 35 people near a Shiite Muslim holy place. And that's the news in VOA Special English. From Washington, this is Jim Tedder reporting.